Are you afraid of Sophia? No, I know the creator of Sophia, Ben Gortzel. Good friend, good guy. Sends very long emails and takes time to reply to those. Brilliant, brilliant person, though. Not afraid at all. I'm not afraid of the future. I'm optimistic. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Is climate change entirely bad? The Earth is getting greener, called the Great Global Greening. Higher carbon dioxide has actually created a lot of growth in plants and more biomass that forms. And it's really, 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 really interesting that this is a dynamic system. And just because we are seeing something occur doesn't mean we know the entire story. And there might be an opposite reaction that occurs that compensates, like global greening is a natural sequestration. But the jury's still out on these things. And the problem is, the concern with climate change is that it will not impact wealthy nations. It'll devastate poor nations because they don't have the resources to geoengineer or deal with disruptions in crop production or other such things. That's at least what's being said. Super politicized issue because all of the solutions that are being proposed by the UN and the radical extremist environmentalists is the construction of a global government. People are super skeptical when something happens and your solution to that thing is create a one world government to regulate and manage it. I'm sorry, if you have the ability to control how much carbon any company in the world produces, you effectively control every business in the world. And if you do that, you're effectively a world government. So it's very skeptical, a lot of people. They're like, hang on a second here. And then they have a bad history of predictions. But, that's science. Science doesn't give you good predictions. What is your favorite cuisine? Italian. Yeah, we're seeing a convergence of this. Charles, can you tell me what your thoughts are on quantum computing and the effect that it has on the crypto world? This question comes up in every AMA. Quantum computing is the boogeyman of crypto. And they're like, oh, quantum computers will come and we're all going to die. And all cryptos will instantly be broken and nothing will ever work. Right now, here today, there are plenty of post-quantum algorithms we as an industry can adopt. They are suboptimal, but we can adopt to completely to inoculate ourselves from the threats of quantum computing. Quantum computing is not a threat on cryptography today. It's a threat in 2035. It's a threat in 2045. It's a threat in 2055. Why are governments taking it seriously today? Why are governments involved in this today? If you're China or America or Russia, you will archive internet traffic. So every time an encrypted email leaves a Department of Defense server, every time there's a VoIP call that's encrypted by a government official or some facility, or an encrypted piece of data is transmitted, it will be intercepted. This is the assumption, the security threat model that these security agencies have. Now, you can intercept encrypted data, you can't decrypt it. But if you have a quantum computer, you can. So here's what happens. You archive all encrypted traffic and you wait for technology to get better. And once it gets there, guess what happens? You can use your quantum computer MacGuffin to now decrypt all those secret communications that happened 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. And you say, but Charles, who cares? It was 10, 20, 30 years ago. How long has it taken to bring the F-22 Raptor to market? How long has it taken to bring the F-35 to market? How long does it take to build a new tank or a new helicopter? How long do you think these nation secrets have to be stored and kept secure before they're no longer relevant? There's a reason why the CIA declassifies things only after 50 years and FOIA forces their hand. Because that tradecraft and that knowledge is as relevant today as it was perhaps 10 or 20 years ago. So quantum computers are a huge threat in that respect, and that future adversary, by having the ability to look at the state of our communications today, can learn enough from that to infer what we're doing then, or at least know how to deal with our countermeasures then. So NIST wants to change the algorithms as quickly as they can because that archiving attack is quite problematic. We're starting to enter the zone where that's going to be a problem. Okay, for cryptocurrencies, it's not. These are social systems. You can't reverse hashes. You know, you're going to be in a position where we can reconstruct things and protect things. Okay, and we have plenty of post-quantum algorithms, and part of the Cardano 2025 agenda that we'll propose will include a quantum agenda, which will completely incubate the system with best available protocols. The only reason we didn't do it today was crypto was not good enough to do that with reasonable trade-offs. I don't want to go to market and say, I fear something in 2035, so I'm going to make myself 100 times slower and my signature is 100 times larger than all of my competitors and deal with this huge inefficiency that's been introduced to protect ourselves from a threat 15 years from now. We call that going out of business. But it's something we should get done by 2025. Now, a lot of cool things. Quantum teleportation is getting really good. Quantum cryptography is getting really good. And time crystals are here. How about that? Time crystals.